So I'm back to all of my 3 subscribers. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Just came back from a really inspiring program where they had a young speaker about my age who really gave some words of wisdom. You know, just telling everybody to remain unified and stuff, but he had a lot to say about the organizations, fraternal organizations, about how we need to get back with the normal community, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, all my other videos are like really produced, pictures and edited real nice, you know, takes 6 hours to do that. And then I look around at all these other videos that are getting all these hits, and it's just you know, some guy yapping blah blah blah, really no editing or anything. So maybe that's what people like. I got a couple of things to talk about, but yeah, this is gonna be just a straight out, you know, unedited video. I'm definitely gonna go back to the produced stuff though, because I like playing around with pictures and all that other stuff. But you know, this week in politics, Huntsman got out. Kind of disappointed about that, because he was one of the only ones who wasn't a straight ideologue. You know, Wall Street Journal, Joe Scarborough, lots of conservative bloggers actually said that he was the most conservative candidate in the race. And so for, you know, all these war hawk, small government Republicans to not vote for him was an ideological mistake, actually. So now we got a bunch of you know, moderates in there, and Rick Santorum, who is evil incarnate. I'm glad that Huntsman backed Romney and not Santorum. Obviously he probably did that so he could get some of his bills paid. Maybe he's got to look at, he's trying to look at the other you know, an ambassadorship that might open up under a Romney presidency. You know, so I think he backed the right candidate politically. Thank God he didn't back Santorum. Yeah, but then the other big issue is red tails. And, you know, how do you say, like, how could that kind of a... It's a movie about the Tuskegee Airmen. Opening on January 20th. How could that be political? It's actually very political. There was a video of George Lucas, who produced the movie, Star Wars, George Lucas. He had to finance the movie himself, $58 million. No studio wanted to back it because there was no major white lead in it. And he was on Jon Stewart's program saying that. So it took him a couple of decades and $58 million bucks to get this movie financed, $58 million of his own money to get this movie financed and made, even though it has proven black leads in it, Terrence Howard and Cuba Gooding Jr., you know, but still, yeah, no studio wanted to touch it. So, you know, the main message of this video is definitely, if you're all about good cinema, not just black people, although, you know, every black person in the world should go and see this movie just on the basis of, you know, getting other major black films produced, and thank God for George Lucas, you know, for doing that. And I think there's something like there's a bigger issue here. It's like black people, and this is kind of what the guy was saying in his speech too at the Martin Luther King thing that I attended today, that, you know, just because we have like 1 or 2 people at the top doesn't mean that we as black people need to stop doing anything, because you know, Tyler Perry was the highest paid guy in Hollywood. And of course you got Will Smith all over everything. But the reason Tyler Perry is the highest paid guy in Hollywood is because his movies cost about $5, $6 to make. And then from his time in the Chitlin circuit, everybody goes to see his movies, and so he makes a ridiculous amount of profit because his movies cost nothing. The reason that this Red Tails thing is so big is because, oh yeah, and Will Smith, you know, he had backers. I mean, he built himself up, definitely, but he had major black backers like Quincy Jones from Fresh Prince TV show. So, you know, he built himself up a network of people to help him out individually. But as a race, you know, there's still all kinds of negativity and, you know, kind of backwards thinking going on in Hollywood. I lived there for 9 years, I know, even though I wasn't necessarily trying to be a film actor. And of course, this whole George Lucas thing brought it out again. I mean, if you don't believe George Lucas about an issue like that, then, you know, he has no other agenda. So, you know, I got to see a preview of the movie, actually, because I'm in Tuskegee, and it's about Tuskegee Airmen, and they had, like, a special showing, like, before, like, all the Hollywood red carpets and stuff, they were down in Tuskegee, because they're talking about the Tuskegee Airmen. So, it's a good movie. It's like Star Wars 7, you know, because it's about World War II airline pilots. And for those people who don't know who Tuskegee Airmen were, they were the best group of pilots in World War II. They never lost a bomber, and they never got shot down. And the Fighting 99th was the only battalion that could say that. So, yeah. You need to check that movie out. And, yeah, I guess that's it. I'm just going to upload this and see how you just like the raw deal. So, yeah. Peace.